Politics and geopolitics news. Trump delayed imposing reciprocal duties until August. One after Besant demanded more time to make deals. The president also decided to send out letters to keep pressure on countries to make deals, Wall Street Journal. Turkey has banned Grok Musk over replies containing abusive language. Von der Leyen on EU-US trade talks. EU will be firm but will work closely with the US administration to reach an agreement, EU preparing for all scenarios. EU Trade Commissioner Šefčovič, I hope to reach a satisfactory result on the trade deal with the US in the coming days. US extends sanctions against Iran. The US has imposed sanctions on companies from Hong Kong, the UAE and Turkey for facilitating the sale of Iranian oil. Rubio, Trump's defense agreement with NATO is a big, beautiful victory for America. Dig, NATO's 5% defense pledge could open up $2.7 trillion for U.S. contractors. Trump sent the Philippines a letter of intent to impose 20% duties from August 1st. Trump sent Brunei a letter of intent to impose 25% duties. Trump sent Moldova a letter of intent to impose 25% duties. Trump sent Iraq a letter of intent to impose 30% duties. Trump sent Algeria a letter of intent to impose 30% duties. Trump sent Libya a letter of intent to impose 30% duties. Financial and stock market news. Copper rose sharply on Trump's intention to impose 50% duties on copper imports. According to US Commerce Department head Latnik, this is how Trump wants to bring copper production back to the US. China, consumer CPI inflation, June. MOM equals minus 0.2%. YOY equals plus 0.1%. N. Zealand, central bank rate equals 3.25%. Central bank, if medium-term inflationary pressures continue to ease as forecast, further rate cuts are expected. Australia's central bank to cut rate by 0.25% at August meeting, analysts, Reuters poll. Following Goldman, BofA raised its year-end target for the SP 500 to 6,300. Bezos sold another $666 million worth of Amazon stock as part of his plan to sell 25 million shares of stock. In 1H 2025 gold ETFs saw biggest inflows in 5 years, WGC. The gold-US stock ratio is now still at historically low levels. Crescat experts believe that gold is now in a strong bullish macro trend and all dips in gold should be taken as healthy corrections in a big bull market. Daimler Truck plans to cut about 5,000 jobs in Germany by 2030. Starbucks China valued at $10 billion, CNBC. Tesla Model Y sales in China rose 9% YOY in June, ending 2 consecutive months of decline, car. Goldman, US copper imports may rise ahead of import duties. Meta acquired a 3% stake in Ray-Ban manufacturer EssilorLuxottica. Merck close to buying Verona for $10 billion, feet. BYD unveiled a smart parking system with L4, high autonomy level, autonomy. EssilorLuxottica shares are up plus 6% after Meta reported an investment in the company. Super Micro plans to ramp up production in Europe amid strong demand for ARI. Turkey raises taxes on lira deposits and funds to shore up budget. Dollar following record depreciation against global currencies in first half of 2025 could lose up to 35% more value, Deutsche. Former Bank of Japan official, Bank of Japan likely to delay rate hikes until March 2026 due to U.S. duties. UAE Energy Minister, no one talks about peak oil demand anymore, demand has surpassed forecasts. OPEC Plus decisions show that the alliance understands the market and its needs better than anyone else, UAE Energy Minister. ARM estimates that the number of data center, DC, customers has grown 14-fold since 2021. JP Morgan plans to invest more in Germany, CEO. BP to sell a network of charging and refueling stations in the Netherlands. Zeekr has unveiled its first hybrid in China. The company has decided to diversify into hybrids amid a global slowdown in the all-electric car market. CNBC, copper is now much more expensive in the US than anywhere else. This could hit the economy hard. Airbus wins contract to supply advanced Spanish military radar satellites. Holzman, ECB no reason to cut rates further. Nvidia has become the first publicly traded company in the world to reach $4 trillion in market value. Nvidia-backed Perplexity launches Ari browser, will compete with Google Chrome. Crypto World News. Tether, Circle, First Digital and Paxos, for issuers of dollar-denominated stablecoins, collectively hold about $182.4 billion worth of US government bonds, which is already more than South Korea and the UAE and ranks 17th on the list of countries holding US government debt. Stats. Tether CEO said in a recent interview that Tether is promoting dollar hegemony. GameSquare plans to put $100 million to buy ETH on its balance sheet. GameSquare plus 60%. Private investor sentiment in BTC is now the most bullish in a month, sentiment data. CryptoRank, recently announced notable airdrops. July 10, Polygon will launch the Heimdall v2 update. This is the most technically challenging hard fork since the main network launched in 2020. New Zealand to ban crypto machines and limit transfers to $5,000. Agen Labs is laying off 25% of employees to focus on Agen Cloud. Tokenized gold trading volume topped $19 billion in 1H 2025, outperforming many traditional gold ETFs, Giteo data. Emirates sign memorandum with Cryptocom to integrate payments. Japanese company Remixpoint has raised $215 million to buy BTC for its balance sheet. Tether has its own vault in Switzerland holding $8 billion worth of gold, Bloomberg. Tether plans to increase gold reserves for its gold stablecoins. Ripple Rust stablecoin Ripple Rust has reached a market capitalization of $500 million in 7 months after launching. Head of Devere Group, BTC is entering the political mainstream. More and more political decisions are being made in favor of BTC. Currently, whales are accumulating BTC and small holders are selling. Glassnode. Already 100 public companies hold BTC on their balance sheets, cumulatively 852,467 coins, HODL 15 Capital Data. Michael Saylor says is bullish because everyday corporates buy far more BTC than miners mine. Ripple has chosen Bank of New York Mellon to hold its Rust stablecoin. July 12, listing of Pump Fund token, Pump, on major exchanges. Bitwise, tokenization is becoming a reality. Real assets like stocks and bonds are being moved to blockchain, with ETHSOL XRP and Link being the most obvious investment cases for betting on the tokenization trend. Even tokenizing 1 to 5% of the $257 trillion market could generate trillions of dollars in profits. Bitwise. Kraken and tokenization infrastructure provider Bakkt announced the expansion of XStocks from Solana to BNB chain. Crypto exchange GMX hacked for $42 million. Binance Futures to launch Pump Futures. Sweden's H100 Group bought 46.9 BTC for balance sheet. Whale opened a $150 million long on Bitcoin with 40x leverage. He has closed the last 15 trades with profit only. Entry point, 108,885.20. Liquidation price, 104,994.32.